Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am here to talk about Kang versus John Castaneda. Castaneda is 31 years old, 20-6 as a pro, and he's given up 3 inches of height and 2 inches of reach to 36-year-old Kang, who is 19-9 as a pro. Kang's been in the UFC for a long time now, 10 years or so. He hasn't been the most active guy, and he did have to go serve his country. You know, they have a mandatory military service in Korea, and, in South Korea, and anyway. In North Korea, you're free to do whatever you want. So, Kang, he's 36 years old, but he doesn't have too much bad mileage on him. He does have 9 losses, but he hasn't been finished in over a decade. He's never been finished in the UFC, and he's shown to have very good cardio and seems like as sharp a skill set as ever here in his late 30s. His wins break down 19 of them. He's got 2 by knockout or TKO, 12 submissions, and 5 decisions. He's not the biggest threat, but he definitely has good striking. It's better than the 2 TKOs would suggest. Kang can be Kwang Ho Bang if he needs to be. All right. His bread and butter is his grappling. He wants to wrestle you down to the floor, secure position. He's really good at taking the back, really good control and finishing touch as well. Again, 12 submissions and his 19 wins. His 9 losses, he's got 1 by TKO, which was, it was a knockout, is with soccer kicks in 2008. 1 was a triangle armbar in 2011, and since then it's been all decisions in the UFC. He's proven to be a very durable fighter. And here he's fighting John Castaneda, who has really impressed me in the UFC. I mean, not so much in the Daniel Santos fight. That was about the opposite of what I expected, to be honest. But I only expected the opposite because Castaneda had already impressed me, specifically with that win over Miles Johns, where he was able to outlast him, outwork him, hurt him, and sub him deep into the fight. He looked better than ever in that fight. And since then, he lost to Daniel Santos again, where I expected him to be better down the stretch in that one, and he landed a nice head kick and whatever, but then he fell apart down the stretch, and Daniel Santos took over and TKO'd him in the middle of the fight. And since then, he bounced back and got a decision victory over Muin Gafurov. And it was a close fight, but one where I thought Castaneda was better down the stretch. So, in general, I trust him. I trust his cardio, Castaneda, and I trust his work rate. You know, I think he's a guy that can do his best work deeper into the fight. He also got a 3rd-round arm triangle choke over Marcelo Rojo, who was in the UFC up until a year ago or so. But then again, that's how Marcelo Rojo loses, by round 3 finish. So, John Castaneda, he's really impressed me. His striking, it's been there for him in the UFC. He got the knockout over Eddie Wineland, of course. Got to mention that. And in his losses, he's impressed me as well. He's only lost to good fighters. Nathaniel Wood, Jose Alday, this guy, Levi Maricon, I don't know. Either way, I knew the guy's name when I wrote it down. And the guy Matt Brown beat him twice. Not that Matt Brown, there's another Matt Brown, and he ended up beating by decision and TKO. So, Castaneda, he's got some losses under his belt, but he's been fighting for a long time now. 31 years old, he's hitting his prime, and he looks like he belongs in the UFC for sure. Here, though, I'm picking against him. I think a lot of his strengths as a fighter are going to be taken away from him from Kwang Ho Kang. Kwang Ho Kang is no stranger to fighting hard for 15 minutes. Again, even if he's got 6 decision losses, he's a guy that I trust his cardio. And he's a guy that I think can put Castaneda on his back. He's got deceptively good striking, and that only is a means to an end generally because he wants to hit a takedown, either go through you or turn a corner and secure control. And I think Kwang Ho Kang is going to be able to do that here. I don't think this is going to be an easy fight where he steamrolls Castaneda and gets him out of there with a submission. Nobody's ever submitted Castaneda, in fact. But I do think Kwang Oh Kang's veteran savvy combined with his wrestling is going to be the difference maker in this fight against Castaneda. Not that Castaneda is a bad wrestler at all, but I just think Kwang Oh Kang is a little bit bigger and better in that regard. So Kwang Oh Kang winning is the pick, and him winning by decision is the prediction. Kwang Oh Kang's money line is plus 115. His decision line is plus 200. I don't like that as much because, again, Castaneda's shown some vulnerabilities, but none being in the way of a rear naked choke or anything. So the prediction is still Kwang Oh Kang via decision. But I'm thinking he secures some top position and finds a victory in one way or another. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.